Dr. Wood, author of the book Miracles in Minutes. The title of this video is How to Create Miracles in Your Life. I'm the author of the book Miracles in Minutes, and the book's premise is how to get someone out of pain in less than 30 seconds to 2 minutes. It's written first I wrote it for my own profession, chiropractors, and how do you deal with someone who's got, severe pain and, they want Oxycontin or some sort of medication, and can we do anything? Is it possible to get someone out of pain very quickly that doesn't require, not even touching somebody? So also this book is for, yoga instructors and, personal trainers and stuff like that. So I wrote, and I also put in there some stop signs, red light, yellow light, and green light. So, don't be stupid. A lot of patients do things that actually cause more harm. Most people have a negative bias. And this is a little bit of, when I wrote the book, it's maybe a little bit ahead of my time, and it's teaching people how to think on their feet. And we have to get past, so do a little bit of brain science, that we have three brains. You have a reptilian brain that controls your body. You have a mammal brain that's your long-term memory and emotions. And then you have the neocortex. We need to be up here in the neocortex to seek to understand things. And most people jump to a conclusion. When you get a lot of pain coming up the body, the emotions take over. And it's like someone is drowning. They focus, I'm drowning. Like, that shit's not gonna help you. I know you're drowning, you're gonna die. We need this brain to get there. So to do that, so you have to understand the reptilian brain, which controls the body. And when I ask questions, it's a yes or no. Can you do this? Yes or no? Are you pregnant? Yes or no? Like how pregnant you are is a different question. Do you have pain in your back? Do you have sciatica? Yes. I have it in my legs. Your both legs? Well, mainly my right. Well, mainly your right. As I'm hearing it, it sounds like it's in your left too. I didn't ask the degree of pain. It's mainly your right. It's a 9 out of 10 on your right leg, but it's a 5 out of 10 on your left leg. So the truth is, it's in both legs. And a lot of people have a hard time answering the first goddamn question. And so you have to, so it's like getting honest with yourself. And the problem is our egos get in the way of, is it right or is it wrong? Is it good or is it bad? Remove all that stuff that's emotional agility. You just need to be present with what's going on in the body at the present moment, and you don't mess with pain. So Gray Cook talks about that too. My book's about that. Where the problem is, it's not there, okay? And also part of this video is, I also have in my book, some rules. One rule is a 70% rule. And you'll see that in investing. The richest man in Babylon, you get paid 100% of your paycheck, you invest 10%, you save 10%, and you give 10% to charity, and you live on 70%. It's also, that's how you get rich. And you pay yourself first. Take care of yourself first. And a lot of people are codependent, and they don't take care of themselves until they're all broken down. And that's also part of so helping people get better is, not that I help you or you help yourself and you keep ending up the same problem. You better figure out what you're doing spiritually or psychologically that you're not being loving towards yourself, and you don't matter until your body's all broken down. That doesn't work. So it's a little bit of a cognitive process, a little bit of spiritual aspect, and I would say it's dealing with life as it is and is not. Then the 70% rule is also into weight training. Jim Wendler's book 531, The Russian Strength Principles. You never train 100%. That's why a lot of people get injured. That's why you keep coming back. You got the same fucking problem. You run too much. You don't give your body a break. And so there's a lot of reasons why people get in trouble, and you are destroying yourself in attempts to be fantastic and have everybody like you. And don't kill yourself in trying to live. And so the red light, yellow light, green light is part of the rules of creating miracles in minutes. Get present to what is, and the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Sciatica, both legs or one leg? It's mainly my right. What about your left? Is it present in both sides? Then once you become aware of it, you don't mess with that. You're going to go look for other things that are more fundamental. And the brain, primitive reptilian brain, as you first got, if you make observation, my observation was anytime athletes got injured, they went to the ground. And they tend to roll around. So there's some, when babies first got here, they were on the ground. and they're rolling around. So that's how we started. And it seems like when people get injured or have pain, they go back to, in utero, go back to reboot the nervous system. Like a computer goes down and you reboot it up in safe mode. You load basic programming, then you stack more complex programming. So you even see that here, basic programming, fundamental exercises that babies did, and then you move to more complex, more mammalian, which is more like quadruped or crawling exercises, and then humans standing on one leg, you know, balance up there. So if you don't have the basics, ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, I don't do complex exercises, and a lot of things that I used to get people, you know, out of physical pain real quick were just real simple exercises. And I never overthought the problem. I just said, I don't know, we're gonna run a scientific experiment. We're gonna see what happens. And we're not gonna mess with that. Whatever you're complaining about, because every doctor in town's done that. So most doctors treat the output, you know, input, process, output, you know, water. That was from 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen. And you're trying to manage water, you're trying to manage depression, you're trying to manage a hip problem, you're trying to manage a back problem. I never went that way. I'd always go to the input side. I would change the inputs, and I would look for, you know, what's not functioning, or what stimulus would I input into the system, what exercise or stretch that would take them from a 10 to 5 in about 30 seconds. And so I cover that in my book. Now, the other thing is, there's another rule is you got to understand in the brain, there's something called a flow state. And I talk about this. And so it's how the brain works. So you got to find, if you do nothing, you're in trouble. A person's going to die. If you do too much, something, you're going to hurt somebody. And whether you're learning or in school or sports or athletics, you got to become familiar with this, you know, finding that flow state, like athletes call it, you're in the zone, or the zone of learning or flow. And you always have to look at capacity, how much you can do and you can't do. If you do too much, you're going to send the person into a panic state. And even though you found something that worked for them, you're going to mess them up. It doesn't work. And if you don't do enough, they get kind of bored and they're not learning. So true learning occurs at the edge of ability. Like, you need to be totally focused. It needs to be kind of intense, and it's a very short duration. And the prefrontal cortex, this part of the brain, is kind of like your bicep. You can only do so many curls and then you're jellied. Like, it's only got so much capacity. Then you need to give it a break, give it a rest, and then come back and do your next set. So that's also in the strength training. You see that in running. You see that in the educational process. Most people burn out the nervous system. They're over here. You're dialed way up with your ego. You're trying to get it all done today. You're impulsive. You're going to die. You're going to die out there. It's not going to happen for you. You keep missing the sweet spot. And I used to call it threading the needle. And so you need to find out where this is, the roof is, like, where is your capacity? And it could change over time as you continue to do exercises, and it may work today, but it may not work tomorrow. It always requires you to think on your feet, and then you always have to assess where someone is and then how much load to put in so you don't shove them into a panic state. Usually I would say, how do you know someone's in a panic state? Is they stop breathing, or you ask someone after they're all jacked up with adrenaline. That's too much load. They should be, they should feel better. They should feel, you don't want to go for the home run of 10 to a 0 on trying to help someone. Typically, you will go to, if they had a 10 out of 10 on pain, and you want to get them to about a 5, 50% is the minimum I would accept. About 60 to 70%. If you get to 65, 70% better, I would say you need to stop there today. Stop loading, stop doing, and go away from that. Do something else. I don't care what it is. So, Einstein said 99 times I think about the problem, then I go row my boat. Stop thinking about the problem, let it go. And that's how it sets up, and it moves from conscious awareness. I was focused, and then it loads on my subconscious, and the brain integrates it and then becomes part of my body. So that's how learning occurs, it's how exercise occurs, it's how my principle Miracles in Minutes occurs. It's understanding how the brain works, finding the flow state, managing that capacity, certain rules to get in there, and you can create miracles if you understand how to use this book to get rid of physical pain. The same principles that are also how to get rid of emotional pain and relational problems. Is you got to understand how your brain works, how to load, and how to figure out where you are and where you're heading. Dr. Wood, hope this video helped you.